talk some fake news coming out of the Pittsburgh Steelers here. Deontay Johnson is in the headlines again. Seems to always when things get dry, it's just Deontay Johnson, especially when the Marcus Peters thing didn't catch on, didn't get any traction. So it was like, all right, what's next? Deontay Johnson punched Mitch Trubisky right in the face. So on, I don't even know what show it was, but CBS Sports analyst Greg Giannotti, am I saying that name right? Claimed that, and he full on was like, this happened.
Yeah, he sent it.
Yeah, he full sent it. That Deontay Johnson punched Mitch Trubisky in the face during halftime of the New York Jets game. The game, obviously, when Kenny Pickett took over and the Kenny Pickett era started. Deontay popped up. He was like, fake news. He actually called it fake news, and then Mitch Trubisky jumped in there and said there's 0% truth of this. I don't have a question, really. It's more of just, why is it Deontay? Why is it always Deontay that just gets attacked?
Man, I would love to know. I think it's a receiver thing.
It's got to be.
I don't know. I think the receivers are just their personalities and just that position itself always seems to lend itself to drama, whether it's, created by them or not, whether it's fake or whether it's real. This is just so funny to me. We talk about this all the time, like when Deontay's name gets brought up, but he's just like, having met him, it's just, he's so quiet. Right?
Like, he's just such a good person.
If you're going to ask me, like, all right,
calm dude.
Line the 11 starters up on offense and tell me who's most likely to punch somebody. Deontay would probably be like 9th. Yeah. And that's me not being in the locker room every day. I mean, you're in there, every day, but that's just me, being, being at training camp and like watching their stuff virtually and just, of course I've met several of them too, but it's just funny to me. It really is it's quite wild. And to get on, it always fascinates me because I'm not one of those guys like, dude, give up your source. Like, I understand how the media thing works, so I know that he can't do that. But it's crazy to me how people can get on a platform that big and say something completely not true. With completely not true. You know what I'm saying?
Compared to, like, that audience reaches a huge audience.
Oh, yeah.
Especially compared to our audience. Like, we have a pretty small audience, even though I'm very thankful for how big it actually is. I don't come on here and say half of the things I know because I'm like, I'm not 100% sold on this. And what if it is like just the smallest bit inaccurate? So to have that platform, but I think that's the same thing. Like, it's like an I'm untouchable complex, like I'm this big. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to get mad at me. Like, my job is to create a headline. It is. And if you wanted to say like, oh, I heard, like, but they were like, no, I know somebody he was pretty much standing next to Deontay Johnson. He actually punched him with Deontay Johnson. That's pretty much what was said. It's crazy, but it is like, I will tell you this, Deontay was very open about how that argument actually happened and how they're cool now. And it's fake because Deontay will let it rock, like he'll see the headlines. He'll send out a funny tweet or something.
Yeah,
he'll let
it didn't take him very long to follow one this morning.
Like, nope, this is wrong. And that's how it's.
Did you see Mitch said something on Twitter? He's like, definitely not true.
0%. And then you knew it was with the laughing emoji. It's all over. Here's the question. Here's what I thought. Do you think George ever deals with this? Do you think George is next in line to?
Oh, I'm sure it will be. Yeah, but here's the thing, and I don't mean this. I mean this like respectfully. I think George would probably punch somebody. I don't know that George would punch his
George
teammates.
Would smoke.
We've seen George swing on opponents in college. I've heard some pretty funny George college practice stories as well. At the combine last year, it was really funny. George is the first person. I don't know. I guess I really feel like I was like the first person that got to interview George at the combine because I was sitting over there waiting for him, at least from like Pittsburgh side of it things.
Yeah.
And while I was over there, like there was a couple like SEC folks and a couple Georgia folks, just how it is at the combine, And I was sitting there talking about him, and guys were telling me funny practice stories about crazy catches and getting in fights and how he's got this, electric personality. So to answer your question, yes, but I would at least understand, like, if he punches somebody, I'm like, okay,
Yeah. It's
Maybe
like,
not
well,
a
there was
teammate.
warnings there.
I'm not saying that he's going to go out there and punch a teammate one day. I'm just saying I would believe it more than Deontay, just knowing their two personalities are
Yeah,
distinctly different.
100. I believe a lot of people. Like, you could tell me Pat Fryermuth punched somebody in the face. I'd be like,
Okay.
possibly. Like, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna believe that before Deontay. Just it is cool, wild. But yeah. I guess with George, it is like it's just destined to come with everybody. He was there with Juju. Now it's Deontay. I wonder if it was here like before us. Like, I wonder if it was the Hines Ward, the Mike Wallace's, Antonio Brown. Like, I just don't get how that one just snuck through the cracks forever. And people were just like, yeah, nah. But Deontay Johnson sneezes. And it's like, okay, this guy's got to go. Somebody trade him.